The fifth one is technology. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you are engineers, some of you are not. You must understand technology. आप HR हो सकते हो, marketing हो सकते हो, IT हो सकते हो, engineer हो सकते हो, कुछ भी हो, but technology समझ में आना चाहिए. Technology वाला को finance आना चाहिए और finance वालों को technology समझ में आना चाहिए. Now, technology does not mean that all of you have to do a program. I don't understand program, but I understand technology. थोड़ा सा समझ में आता है. If you have the mindset, you will be able to understand the technology. That technology could be in your enterprise resource planning. The technology could be the machinery which your factory companies having. The technology could be let's say, the software which you're using. Technology, whatever technology is happening in the world and growing, please keep in touch with it. There is one issue. Technology also does not mean that every technology succeeds. Not true. Every technology doesn't succeed. Many technologies fail. I'll give you an example. There was a big company which started working 10 years back on flying cars. Have you heard of it? Flying car. A flying car is neither car, nor an aircraft, nor a drone, somewhere within. And this was actually financed by Google. Huge, everybody saying, are we a flying car to aa gaya. Last month, they dropped the proposal. They say, we cannot develop flying car. They dropped it. If you move forward, if you see what is happening in the domain, 6 to 7 technology fails. One of the biggest technology which all of you will talk about perhaps is blockchain. Blockchain, I hope you are learning blockchain. In blockchain did not work. Blockchain did not work the way it should. What happened? Somebody then developed something called a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency developed kiya. Then one intelligent person who cryptocurrency se Bitcoin bana diya. Now, Bitcoin is a technological offshoot. I don't know whether you people are investing into Bitcoin. Nowadays, the price is coming down, hopefully or not. Bitcoin is a scam. It's sitting on technology. It is not a currency. Bitcoin is not a currency. I can explain to you later on, but Bitcoin actually technically is worth zero. It has nothing. It has no backup. It has nothing. Somebody developed in computer Bitcoin. That's all. How can it be a currency? Can you carry Bitcoin in your pocket and go to a nearest Starbucks and have a coffee? Answer is no. You have a Bitcoin in your pocket worth, let's say, $100. Tomorrow that $100 may be worth $80 or $110. How can you have a currency which fluctuates every day? ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. So it's not a currency. So be as it may, technology, you must understand the pros and cons. Technology doesn't mean every technology succeeds. Some fails, some are successful. But technology is very important, ladies and gentlemen, to understand. And the last one, which you must know, the hard skill. These are the 6 hard skills each one of you must know. Is called human resources. Nothing works without human beings. You must manage people. You must know how to manage people. Because after all, you are a manager. Manager of what? Manager of what? Manager of dogs and cats? No, manager of human beings. So unless you know human resources, how will you manage people? You have to motivate them, train them, recruit them, promote them. All that you have to do, which is HR, human resources. You will say, my God, so many things, sab to bhul gaya. So let me tell you how to remember it. I'll give an acronym for this. F, finance is F. Finance, you have to learn no finance, F. Operations is O. Unique selling proposition is marketing, U. Risk management is R. Technology is T. H is human resources. F-O-U-R-T-H, fourth. Can you remember the word fourth? You can, isn't it? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, each one of you must learn these 6 things. Only then you can expect a 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 1 crore CTC. And this is what IIMs teach. They teach the boys and girls these skills. And if you have learned these skills, you are done. It hasn't ended. I know it's 12:20, 12:35, but I just want to tell you a little bit of soft skills. The most important soft skill, my dear friends, which you must have, nobody will give you a 50 lakh salary, 1 crore salary, unless you have subject knowledge. You must know your subject. You have to know your subject. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि मेरे को सब्जेक्ट पता नहीं कि 50 लाख रुपीस एक सैलरी का ख्वाब है. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता है. आप इंजीनियर है तो इंजीनियर है, मैनेजमेंट है तो मैनेजमेंट है, जो भी है आप, you have to know the subject well. Subject knowledge does not mean learning by heart. Please don't learn by heart. What is important is understand the concept behind that subject. As long as, even if you're a lawyer, even if you're a LLB or Master of Law, you don't need to know Section 5, Subsection 2, Paragraph 2. No, all bullshit. As long as you know the law says this, that's good enough for you. Next soft skill is ethics. Please be honest. 2 नंबरी से कोई progress नहीं होता है. Dishonesty से no one has ever progressed in the world who has been dishonest. Ethics. Believe me, in an interview, the employer gets to know you're ethical or not in 5 minutes. Believe me. It's a skill they have. They figure out ये लड़का या लड़की ethical है कि नहीं. आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा आप कुछ बोल दिए जो आप ethical नहीं है. If you don't imbibe the habit of ethics, you cannot display ethics on interview. Not chance. Ethics is a matter of principle. Ethics is a matter of principle. Please imbibe that ethical habit. The next is, I have talked about attitude, but that's fine. But what is important, is your ability. Whatever you do, you should display that I have the ability to do it. Attitude is a mindset. Ability is something which you have imbibed within you, that I am able to do it. For instance, let us assume for a moment this mic system, fails immediately. I cannot prove you, but chances are that if it fails now, maybe only 1 or 2 of you will rush to see whether this mic works. If it is attitude, all of you should rush, it is not working, let me go and fix it. Some of you will actually know how to fix it because you are an engineer. Some of you will not know how to fix it. But you have the ability, you will then immediately on that moment exercise your common sense, what perhaps would have gone down. Maybe the wire has gone off, that's called ability. That's not knowledge, but that's common sense. So ability, I know it's a tough topic, but you must have the ability to whatever you are knowing, doing, and expecting to do. You cannot be successful if you don't have the ability to deliver something. All I said, FOURTH, you remember? If you have the ability, you will be able to learn all the 6. Of course, first of all, you have to have the attitude. I must learn all the 6. Many of you would have already discarded, said, बेकार है, finance कौन पढ़ते, छोड़ना है. FOURTH, F तो गया, O से चालू करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Okay, so ability. The next one is, all that what you know, you need to transmit to somebody else, which is called communication. How will I know that you know? How will anybody know that you know? How will anybody know that you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you have the ethics? Unless you transmit, which means communication. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not able to communicate well, you cannot succeed. And that communication means written and oral, both. Today, zamana, WhatsApp वाला आप written communication, मैं तो WhatsApp बहुत भेजता हूँ. Very good. उससे कुछ नहीं होता है. That is not communication. Can you write a paragraph, correct English? All of us must know how to speak correct English with the correct dictum. It's very important. So, watch BBC News for the next 1 month. BBC News every half an hour, every 1 hour होता है. 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, and the BBC News usually for 20, 25 minutes. If you watch and imbibe the BBC News for 30 days, you automatically will see your English has started changing. You are able to form better English. Do that. It will work. You must speak BBC English. Try to. It works. It really works. We are all vernacular people. We are all vernacular. I am also a vernacular person. I'm not an Englishman. But I've tried to imbibe a habit of speaking the correct English. And the last one is, you must be sprightly, you must be smiling, you must be suave. You need to be sprightly, smiling, suave. You know, there is a word called debonair, a word called good presenter. People, whenever a person looks at you, he or she should feel good about looking at you. That means, please have your hair trimmed, please wear good fair clothes, clean clothes, please wear aftershave if you're men, please have a deodorant, please have a mouthwash. Small little things. You say, कुछ भी यार ठीक है, आज नहीं शेव किया क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं होता है. तो बाल ठीक नहीं का होता है. Every day, believe me, ladies and gentlemen, every day in your life, you are on examination. Every day in our life is an examination. People are looking at you every day. Every day is a package. Every day is a package. Package cannot be done only on the interview day. I told you what ethics. मैं तो अनएथिकल हूँ, चोरी वोरी करता हूँ, इधर उधर दो नंबरी करता हूँ. Interview में ठीक, I will answer the same thing. Doesn't work. He or she will figure out that you have not practiced ethics. So if I have to quickly summarize, the first one is subject knowledge, S. I'll give you a short form for that, an acronym. Ethics, E for ethics. A for ability. T for transmission, communication. And S, last one, is smiling sprightly. I can see myself smiling. Please smile. It doesn't cost anything. It makes a lot of difference. I can see many of you are smiling. Please smile. Believe me, it will change the world around you. Be suave, S-A-U-V-E, sprightly. You know, that energy, and smiling. World will work around you. A-C-A-T-S, seeds. One is fourth, another is seeds. Fourth is the hard stuffs, H-E-R-D. A-C-A-T is the soft stuff. This hard and soft. Hopefully, if you're together, each one of you will become a CXO in life. In life, what an employer is looking for, you know? They are looking for a holistic person, a complete package, door-to-door delivery. मैं उनको लिया, सब कुछ वो करेगा. सब कुछ करे means करना तैयार है. Attitude. So, if you have to do a startup, I told you I'll discuss on startup. Startups fail, you know why? Startups fail because they don't have USP. Most startups they follow somebody else. Amazon आया, Flipkart follow किया, वो ठीक है. उसके बाद Snapdeal follow किया. Snapdeal गिर गया ना. There was no USP. Did Snapdeal have any USP? Why will you go to Snapdeal? Why not Flipkart? Why not Amazon? And there are so many others. सब गिर गया. Everybody has gone. Uber आया, Ola आया, चलो वो भी हो गया. बस उसके बाद मेरू शेरू सब गिर गया. Nobody succeeded because there was no USP. 3 things a startup fails. 9 out of 10 startup fails. 1, they don't have any USP. 2, they are poor in operations. They don't focus on operation. No, I'm an intelligent boy, I'm very good idea. Idea to take operation, you must deliver, na? A very good idea, so what? Is the customer getting it? Is the customer using it? Can customer use it every day? Operations. And third, what they really fail is F in finance. They don't know how much money they need. They do not estimate how much money they need. They feel, हमारा पास idea है, पहले दिन से पैसा आना चालू करेगा. नहीं होता है. You need to have a loss for first 1 year, which is called 1 year's cash balance in your pocket. So finance, they don't understand finance. The startups fail primarily because they don't have a unique selling proposition, their operations are poor, and they don't have finance. I'm not saying they don't have technology, they have. Hopefully they have human resources. In fact, many of the startups fail because they're very poor in human resources. They don't know how to manage people. They really don't know how to manage people. So be as it may, if you have FOURTH, chances are that you will succeed for sure. And then followed up with your ACITS, you will definitely succeed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to take questions. Should I sit?
Then make that. And you rotate. Thank you very much, sir, for the inspirational talk. Dear participants, now the forum is open for the question answer session. I request the host of this Zoom to unmute the participants, those who raise their hands, or we will ask, if somebody wants to ask a question, they can put in the chat box. On your behalf, we will ask it. And in the hall also, they can ask the questions. And one thing I would like to share, the best question of this today's session will be given a gift. So the platform is open. The best question will be given a gift.
Hello, sir. My question is how to improve our innovation skill to go towards the research. How to improve and how to express that skill.
Every business starts with one thing, that's called idea. Idea से हर business चालू होते हैं. Then there are two things which are required to get the business done. People and money. Then you are done. Innovation is nothing else but idea, how to operationalize the idea. वही innovation है. So, how to have an innovation, उसका theory तो मैं बता नहीं सकता. But I can only say, think of an idea which has USP, unique है. The moment it is unique, and you can then operationalize it through some human beings and through some finance, you are done. So, you asked for innovation, I've given an answer how to convert that into a business idea or a business opportunity. But I believe that innovation is all about idea and how to operationalize it. That's where most of the failures take place. The idea अच्छा है, but they don't know how to operationalize it. Now, one of the way they talk about something called innovation funnel. Let's say you go to a company called 3M. 3M is perhaps the most innovative company in the world. It's a large company, hundreds and thousands of people are working. So what they do, they encourage people, their people, to innovate. In fact, they say that 2 hours in a day you don't have to work, you just have to think. That's extreme. They just keep quiet and just think. Whether that is practicable in all companies, I'm not too sure. But be as it may, so lots of ideas come. Then they have an innovation funnel. They put all the innovations and then they try to pick up the top 10, the top 20, top 30. Funnel karte, they choose 1 or 2 or 3 innovative idea, which perhaps they need to give money and people to convert. So in a large organization, something called innovation funnel. As an individual, I think it's an idea, how to operationalize an idea. Just to have an idea doesn't help. For instance, I just told you there was an idea to have a flying car. Flying car which is neither drone, nor auto, nor aircraft. Maybe fly at 1 feet, 2 feet high. Ta-ta-ta-ta, chala jayega. Flying car. Never worked. Good idea, no operations. Operations poor. Actually, I want to meet the God, and I feel God is sitting somewhere upstairs. Good idea, but how do I operationalize and meet the God? Doesn't work. There is no operations. Simple maybe. I'm just simplifying it. Idea, if it is operationalized, in fact, to my mind, that's innovation.
Hello, I'm audible.
So there is a one question from RCP. Just give them a chance.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Somebody is here? Yeah. By that time, please you can ask it. Mike.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. This is Piyush. You kept mentioning IIMs in your speech. So, how efficient it is to do MBAs after engineering, you think, and how is it? How it will lead us to be future ready?
My submission to all of you is MBA is a great qualification to have. That's my first take. Second, try to do an MBA from the top 50 institutes of India. Top 50. I just mentioned IIM just for the sake of it. I could have mentioned any other name. 3, if you're an engineer or you are studying management, try to do management. You are all doing MBA, am I right? They're all doing MBAs already. Am I right? Are you doing MBAs? They are all doing MBAs? Why have I said that top 50 or top 100? Perhaps those institutes are teaching FOURTH. As long as you have the holistic approach, if you're an engineer or if you're doing management, as long as you are having a holistic approach to the management philosophy, you would definitely be successful. Why I was mentioning IIM? Because of the way they intake people, the top CAT people, people who have stood the first 100, first 200, first 300 in the CAT examination, they pick up. They are all IIT graduates maybe. Maybe they are already done well in life. Each one of you can do it. There is nothing short of it. Each one of you can also pack that 50 lakhs, 1 crore salary. It all depends, are you worth it to an employer? How do you prove your worth? How does that employer see that if I take, I'm just giving a name Neha, if I take Neha will give me 1 crore worth of benefit. Please understand, an employer is always looking for 10x benefit. If they are paying you a 10 lakh salary, the employer wants 1 crore back. If he'll pay you 1 crore salary, he wants 10 crore back. Every year, by the way. Because the 1 lakh salary is every year or every month. So they are always looking for 10x benefit. The short answer to this is, make yourself worth it to give your employer 10x benefit. Till then, ye kho bhi rah jayega. It really doesn't matter. I belong to a very, very small school. Very, very small. I'm a chartered accountant. Very, very small CA firm. I did not do CA firm, PwC or Ernst & Young or Deloitte & Touche. I did not do it. My father was very poor, could not even afford those. I did not do IIM. For sure I did not do IIM. But if I focused on learning, assimilating, understanding FOURTH, maybe it is simplification, maybe there are 2 or 3 others, and also ACATS and attitude, your success has to happen. It is such that some institutes forces them to give this whole holistic approach, some perhaps not. Some of you maybe not taking that, maybe don't have an attitude to do it. Arey yaar, kahin tarike se pass karega ho jayega. But if all of you have the positive attitude, to have a holistic understanding of all the subjects, you will all gain good, you will all be CXOs in your life. It is like, do you go to a 5-star mandir or do you go to a mandir next door which is very small? God to har jagah mein hota hai na. Har jagah mein education ek hi hota hai, to my mind. It is just a question of how much we want to give or take out of it. You can as much take from here or from anywhere else. So I know I mentioned the word IIM just to say that those people are garnering better salaries. And that's the only benchmark. Otherwise, there is no other reason why I use the name IIM. There is no other reason.
I think one we will take from one online. Online घ्या ना एक.
Can you hear me?
Yes, RCPP, somebody has the raised hands. Please, you can ask the
Yes,
question.
so
We have
Can
unmuted
you
you.
hear me, sir? Hello? Hello?
Yes, please, you can ask it.
Okay, yeah. First of all, thank you, Robin, sir, for tapping the financial potent. As a woman, we are generally dependent on our father or brother, men in our family, who take such decisions, like financial decisions for us, right? And even when I ask them, they tell me to give them the money, and they would do it for me. They would plan something financial for me. So, as a layman, if I want to start, where do I start? What do I understand about finance?
Can you repeat? You being a woman, financial planning.
Yeah, for financial planning, where do I start as a layman?
So the question is, being a woman, so how to do the financial planning and where to start it? So woman financial planning.
Whether you are a lady or a man or a woman, everyone can do financial planning. It really doesn't matter. What is financial planning? Financial planning, broadly speaking, saving, putting the saving in such a way that your savings gets multiplied. That is financial planning. Now, broadly speaking, if you are young, which I think you are, if you have money, assuming for a moment you have 10,000 rupees, broadly I would guess 60% of your savings you should put in equity, 60% in equity, 20 or 25% you put it aside for perhaps having a home, 5 to 10% you can invest something called gold, and about 10% you keep it aside as a cash balance. If there is an emergency, you can invest. You can spend. So broadly speaking, financial planning, I think it is no great rocket science. Equity in India, equity market in India, 60, 65, 70%, if you start investing being young, is a great financial planning. Yes, there is one more thing you should take. You should do an insurance, both a health insurance and life insurance. Don't do life insurance, do a term insurance. Term insurance is very safe, life insurance is expensive, and health insurance. So maybe 10% of your money which you are saving, you can put aside for insurance. Then you are done, 60, 65% equity, 10, 15% insurance, 10% perhaps 5 to 10% in gold, maybe 5 or 10% money you keep aside for a home, and 5% or so for emergency funds. I don't know what was your question fully, but this is what my short answer was. There are some
you, sir.
questions which has come on the chat box you have to read out.
Hello.
And there is one more question in the...
Question there. Can I read
Sir.
the question?
Sir, there is one more question in the chat box. It is...
No, there is a question below. I want to read that. 1 second, if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, I will read it, sir.
Read it.
I will read it.
Read it for everyone.
Yeah, he is from the question is from Shri Ashok Bhai Merchant. He is a trustee of KKWIEER Education Society, and the question is, can you share a little bit about the SWOT analysis to make the students future ready? In brief, if possible.
What is SWOT? Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. Everything what you do, you can do a SWOT for yourself. What is my strength? What is my weakness? SW is internal, OT is external. SW, what is my strength, my weakness? What is my opportunity, external? And what is my threat, external? What is your threat? You go for an interview, you find another IIM example. IIM graduate takes your job away. Threat. Opportunity, you also an MBA, they are also an MBA. Opportunity. Strength, you are now qualified, you know FOURTH plus ACATS. That's strength. Weakness, maybe my English is not good. Kuch karna padega isko. Therefore, we all have to do our own SWOT to move forward. That is basically what it is. Can you read the second question, sir, if you don't mind?
No, that is asked, sir, already.
No, I
Same
have not
madam.
answered this question. She is asking different.
Yeah, she is asking.
Yes.
Thank you, Robin, sir, for tapping the financial area. As a woman, we are generally dependent on our father or brother, the men in the family, to take such decisions. And even when I ask them, they tell me to give them the money and they would do it for me. So as a layman, if I want to start, where do I start it?
I don't know the answer. You have a problem. Of course, there is a problem. I feel you have to give them confidence, saying that, okay, your father, you can tell your father or brother, you take care of the finance, but give me 20% of whatever you're doing and let me manage that 20%. Mm-hmm. Give me 10%, give me 30%. And they won't mind. Perhaps saying, chalo, chalo, chota paisa leke dekho kya kar sakte ho. If you can turn that money faster, which I think you will, they will know, ये लड़की का पास तो है ना, so उनको ही करने देते हैं. तो छोटा से चालू करो, हो जाएगा, hopefully.
Thank you, sir. Here. Mike, I.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is Omar, sir. So actually, I wanted to ask, sir. So from childhood itself, we have been taught what to do after we have a success in our life, but we are never taught what we have to do after we come across a failure, sir. So what to do once we have a failure in our life and how to come back through that situation, sir?
Do you know how to ride a bicycle? You know how to ride a bicycle?
Yes, sir.
Or a scooter?
Yes, sir.
You know, na? And when you rode the bicycle, did you ride it first time or you fell several times? Do you remember?
Yes, sir. I fell
several
many
times you
yes.
fell, na? If you would not have fell, if you would not have fallen, you wouldn't have been able to ride the bicycle. Any child who does not want to fall, she or he cannot ride a bicycle. Failure is a stepping stone for success. And if you are afraid of failure, you know, many of us, I have seen people, वो इंटरव्यू में जॉब के लिए एप्लीकेशन नहीं करते हैं. क्यों? अरे इंटरव्यू में फेल हो जाएगा तो क्या बोलेगा, क्या सोचेगा वो? अरे वो क्या सोचेगा? सोचने दो ना. How does it matter? If you appear for 10, first of all, let me tell you, if you apply for 30 jobs, my experience, 3 or 4 will call you. And out of 3 or 4, you'll be very lucky if you do one well. Believe me, this is how it works. 30 attempts, 1. Therefore, when I am applying, if I think, oh, answer nahi aayega to, then I go for an interview, or success nahi hoga to. You have to keep trying. There is nothing in this world which is possible without failure. Nobody has succeeded. Nobody has succeeded ever. Nobody has ever succeeded first time. No one. Even the first boy of your class, I don't know you're the first or last, first boy or not. In spite of that, I'm sure you would have, when you are making your preparations, you would have seen, "Arey, ye to samajh mein nahi aata hai. This I can't do, that I can't do." Then you start preparing and then you get it right. So first of all, get in your mind, failure is a stepping stone for success. So don't even think that what happens if I fail. Fail you must, then only you will succeed. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Computer department.
Hello. So as I just said, sir, failures are stepping stone and growth is important in life because without growth, growth is the only constant and many changes. I would like to know what have been the worst of the challenges that you have faced with respect to your positions and being, at such positions, because communication also needs to happen in a way that people do not feel that somebody is demanding or somebody is being bossy. So how has that been a very big challenge and how have you overcome them?
The biggest challenge I face even today is that I'm from a family where there was no food to eat. There was no food, there was no clothes, no shoes. And because of that, I feel I'm very diffident in the sense I am not extrovert, I'm an introvert person. And as a manager, you need to be extrovert. You just can't be an introvert. But I always have to tell myself, let's go along. Because my background is such, just for telling you, my father lost his business and he had to actually beg. My father had to actually beg. And I studied my CA or whatever I've studied, all my exams, out of borrowed books. I never had books in my home. My dream was to play badminton. And I belong to a city called Kolkata, where people play badminton during winter. Winter, there is no breeze, so they play badminton. So I used to think, "Arey, kaise badminton khelte hain?" Then I was in Germany. I was a managing director in ArcelorMittal in Germany. And I got hold of a badminton racket. And when I left after 5 years, I was a Düsseldorf city champion. So I face every day. I face it in my internal mind every day. This so-called diffidence and introvertness because of my background. So therefore, if you know that what is the problem, and if you try to address it, it works. It works. So again, as I said, that if you have a positive attitude, and I can do it, and if you have the ability, and a sense of purpose, I can do it, it works. Dekho, world around you is not going to change. Nobody will change around you. You have to change. Who will change? अरे बहुत दुख है, वो ऐसा करता है, वो ऐसा करता है. Doesn't matter, वो तो ऐसा ही करेगा. How will you change him or her? But can I change to accept or assimilate with that so-called world around? Very important for us is to adjust to the environment. You know, there is a word called, all of you have high IQ. Without that intelligence quotient, you wouldn't have been here. Very important is to have an EQ. Emotional quotient. What is EQ? Ability to deal with others. That ability to deal with others comes from inner struggle, inner diffidence, inner issues which I had in my childhood. And many others will have something else. Many of you may have a broken home. Great challenge, great challenge. When there is a broken home, that comes in the mind. Again, we have to get over it and have an ability to deal with others. So, don't try to change others. Change yourself. It will work.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I am Sandesh Laute, and my basically question is during pandemic, like COVID pandemic, we have heard that most of the people in the private jobs were made to leave the jobs, or they were forced to leave the jobs. So, sir, that definitely rose the unemployment in India, which was before then also. So, sir, what do you think about people to safeguard their jobs, those who are working right now in the private companies? So, what do they will how their attitude should be so that they won't be forced to leave the jobs? And sir, the second question is the employment. Daily we read newspapers. We used to read that the unemployment in India is rising daily. So, what do you think the ways to lessen the unemployment, which can be done with the help of industries? Thank you, sir.
Your friend, you must have heard, some friend has lost his job or her job. Okay? The employer must have told him or her that you are not good, go away. You have heard from your friend. Friend is saying, हमको निकाल दिया. अब उसको बॉस को जाके पूछो ना क्यों निकाला उसको. तब समझ में आएगा. Unless you get 360 degrees feedback, how do you come to a conclusion? When you are a judge hears both sides. Then only he or she can take a decision. Nobody is sacked if he is good. Nobody is sacked. Take it from me. उसका एटीट्यूड ठीक नहीं होगा, उसकी एबिलिटी ठीक नहीं होगा. आपका साथ शायद ठीक ही होता होगा, बट ऑन द जॉब ही और शी डज नॉट नो व्हाट टू डू. क्यों रखेगा उसको नौकरी में? So very important, ask his or her boss why it has been taken away. I told you in the beginning when I started, people are looking for good people. And if you are good, they will not allow you to go. There is no dearth of opportunity in India. No dearth. There is enough jobs. There are no jobs for people who are useless. There are enough jobs who are useless. Enough jobs for everyone. Just the other day, I think 3 or 4 days back, my wife wanted to develop a website for her. She gave to work and then work did not work. Another did not work. We live in Mumbai. Happy to pay some. We are not getting someone who can develop a good website. Believe me, it is as bad as that. Efficient website developer not available. Shayad available, but not enough. She makes videos. Video तो कर लिया, but edit कौन करेगा? Editor नहीं है. There are no good editors. It's a fact. She put it in our social group. Can I get a good editor? 2% came. हम करेगा. Work is awful. Bottom line is, I'm just giving you 2 examples saying that if you are good, there is no dearth of opportunity. India is the best country to be in. This is the only country which is growing at the fastest rate. There is no country in the world which is growing at this rate. Enough opportunity. तैयार करो खुद को, holistically तैयार करो, with a proper attitude. देखो ना, you will beat the world. The world will be at your feet. I assure you. And it's a promise.
Thank you, sir.
Last 2 we will take it, I think. Last two questions we will take it.
Lot of people want surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Sir, my question is, as we keep dream of entrepreneurship, according to you, what will be our startup right now and for that one dream, and what will be our action plan for that dream?
Dream. Startup dream. Startup as a dream.
What will be the action plan and startup according to you?
Very simple. Very simple. First, you have to have an idea. Think of an idea or ideas, and then collate that idea which you believe you can operationalize it. An idea which you can operationalize. I told you I want to meet God. Great idea. Nobody has done it. I will become multi-trillionaire. But I can't operationalize it. God को पास कैसे जाऊँ? पता ही नहीं God कहाँ है पहले. So how do I go? As I told you in an example, flying car. Great idea, but they couldn't operationalize it. They just couldn't operationalize it. Blockchain. Great idea. Till now, blockchain is not operationalized. They said banking में आएगा, hotels में आएगा, hospitals में आएगा, logistics में आएगा. Operationalize नहीं हो पाया अभी तक. Cryptocurrency आया, उससे Bitcoin तो एक कचरा बना के रखा है. It's a speculative transaction बनाया. Now it was $60,000, one Bitcoin, it has now come to 20,000. It is falling by the day. Because people have realized it's not a currency anymore. They are realizing it. So be as it may, if you have an idea, think, can I operationalize it? And what is it for the customer? Am I making my customer's life simpler? Am I adding value to a customer? क्यों he will or she will buy? अब कुछ तो करोगे उसके लिए ना, customer के लिए सोचना पड़ेगा. Operationalize, and what is their customer, which is USP, unique selling proposition क्या है? And once you have that, you need finance and human beings. You need money and you need people who will work with you. Idea, operationalizable idea. Then it works.
Thank you.
Sir, sir, it's very pleasant to talk with you, and I want to ask that we were dependent on the SWIFT code for the online transaction, foreign transactions. So how can we replace the SWIFT and add an alternative in Indian sense to make Indian transactions?
Unfortunately, they have not been able to figure out how to bypass SWIFT, because when the Ukraine war started, within 2 days, if you remember, everyone said SWIFT ban कर देगा, तो Russia will get isolated because Russia से कोई पैसा आना जाना बंद हो जाएगा. But they couldn't do that. They have still not been able to do it. So they have not been able to bypass SWIFT. Therefore, SWIFT is still on, and money therefore is still flowing to Russia. That's the problem. If SWIFT can be stopped somehow to flow into Russia, Russia will become Nanga. They will die of hunger. Because what they do, they export gas, oil, whatever, and they get money. Today, obviously, they are giving it to China and India, and not to Russia, not to Europe and America anymore. But there is, as far as I know, they have not been able to find a substitute for SWIFT as yet. They've tried a lot, but they just have not been able to do. Because SWIFT has been proven over time to be safe and secure. That's the issue. Because money is going through computers and mobile. It needs to be safe and secure, unhackable. Very important. Just for information, I hope you know, every computerized system is hackable. Huh? Everything is hackable. Everything. The whole railway system is working on internet. It's all through internet. If somebody hacks the railway system, just imagine millions of people will die in one shot. If someone hacks the air system, millions of people. If one hacker has that motive to do that, God knows what will happen. Your city electricity system can be hacked. I know I'm giving another answer to your question, but fact of the matter is SWIFT, still they have not been able to find an alternative to it. I don't know whether that was a question or not.
Sir, means we are currently trading, we are founding a alternative in an Indian accent. So like we are trading with India and Bangladesh and all. So we are trying to use Indian rupees so that our currency will get strengthened.
Okay. So that is different. That is rupee trading. That means if I export to Bangladesh, Bangladesh will give rupee. Unfortunately, still now they have not been able to implement it. They wanted to do with Russia. It hasn't started. Russian export, they will be paying by Indian rupee. What they're doing for Bangladesh, because Prime Minister announced day before yesterday, that they want to give a loan to Bangladesh. Bangladesh is in trouble, by the way, just for information. Sri Lanka is in trouble. Pakistan is in trouble. Nepal is in trouble. Afghanistan doesn't exist. Myanmar is gone, over. Now, Bangladesh is in trouble. Actually, Bangladesh showed higher GDP growth last 2 years, for your information. They are in trouble. So government is thinking that we will give loan to Bangladesh, let's say $1 billion, and against that we will buy goods from Bangladesh. So when I buy goods from Bangladesh, samka rice aata hai, wheat, rice, clothes, that comes. Lot of raw material comes from Bangladesh. I think jute used to come earlier. Now jute doesn't come because jute is no longer used. That has to be paid for. Rather than paying in dollar, that would be settled in rupee, because मैं तो rupee दे चुका हूँ उसके. So they are trying to do rupee trade with countries which has lot of export-import with India, and they're willing to do it. Russia is one, they have not implemented. Now they are thinking of Bangladesh. I think Sri Lanka also they are trying to talk to. But till these are all early days, because what is happening, IMF, International Monetary Fund, or World Bank is trying to discourage rupee trade. The moment you have rupee trade, you're outside the dollar-euro system. They will become weaker. IMF is a stooge of US. Why will they allow? So they don't want India to become more stronger. They want India to remain in khadda. So they are also pushing back. India has to take a holistic view. How much can you kick US around? As such, yesterday, I think our foreign minister kicked US quite a bit, because US is now giving $450 million worth of aircrafts, fighter aircrafts, free, on the garb of fighting terrorism. Our foreign minister says, what nonsense? Why do you need fighter aircraft to fight terrorism? Obviously, they want to fight India. So be as it may, so to chalte rahenge. So rupee trade hasn't fructified so far.
So last question.
Hello sir, my question is for being future ready. On what things we have to be prepared beside education?
Besides?
Education.
ACATS, subject knowledge, ethics, ability, transmission, communication. You have to be able to communicate well, speak well, write well. That's the only way you can sell well. Of course, you have the ability, but people have to know what's your ability. And keep smiling. You're not smiling. Yeah, correct. Keep smiling. It will work. Sprightly smiling, SATS. I know I've given you an acronym, making it very simple, but in and around that, if you work, I'm quite sure it will work. Good attitude, good ability, good communication, good subject knowledge. Why will you not succeed? Why? Tell me one reason. Now, tell me one reason why you will not succeed. If you have this, you have the ability, you have smiling, you have an attitude, can-do attitude. कैसे success नहीं होगा? होना ही पड़ेगा. But please have a holistic knowledge. Please have a, don't be just become engineering knowledge, IT knowledge. Have a holistic, that's why I gave you that example acronym of fourth. You need to understand a bit more than what you are knowing already. Not an expert knowledge, but working knowledge.
So last question, somebody is, yeah, here. Last, that will be the,
Hello, sir. My name is Yash Jadhav. Sir, at first you started with like, we need people who we can trust. I go by the policy that I would prefer trusting someone and then regret rather than doubting someone and then regret. And that example you gave, that chef turn up every time, that happened to myself 2 times, sir. I have my own restaurant somewhere. So, sir, what would you prefer among both of them? Because if you think that this thing can harm me in future, then I would like to know your opinion on this. I have embedded this in my habit. In personal as well as professional life, I should continue or not?
Taking your example on restaurant business which you started in the chef, that chef, you may have lost the chef multiple times. I think that's what has happened to you. You need, therefore, nothing prevents the driver, the chef, the employee leaving. Apart from money, there is something else which needs to be given so that that employee is retained with you. You have to gain his or her trust. That's what you started with. As you need to have trust on him, he needs to have trust in you.
Yeah.
This is both way traffic. क्या होता है कि हम उनको बारे में सोचते हैं, लेकिन आप नहीं सोचते कि वो हमारे बारे में क्या सोच रहे हैं. So if you can just turn around and see what will make him trust me. For instance, उनका एक सैलरी है, उसका एक मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस करवा दीजिए. Just imagine what will happen. Small money, उसका मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस कर दिया और आप बताएं कि हर साल मैं मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस आपको करते रहूँगा. He will not go away and leave you. I'm just giving an example. Again, you have bought, B-O-U-G-H-T, bought trust. Because you are saying, Mr. So-and-so, I will look after you. आपका कोई भी परेशानी होगा, मैं आपका साथ हूँ ना. You know, many organizations, many Indian organizations, employees don't get good salary. But they are with their employee 30, 40 years. You know why? Do you think they are there for 30, 40 years because उसका सूरत अच्छा है, बॉस का सूरत अच्छा है? No. They have bought trust. क्या होता है कि फैमिली में कोई प्रॉब्लम है, लड़के का शादी का चक्कर है, एग्जीक्यूशन क्या होता है, वो एडवांस दे देते हैं, एक लोन दे देते हैं, चलो लेके जाओ 1 लाख रुपया, 10 लाख रुपया, नो प्रॉब्लम. ऐसा करके ट्रस्ट ले लेते हैं. They know that my employer will look after me when push comes to shove. God knows, दूसरा कंपनी में जाएगा तो क्या होगा? Who knows? Therefore, trust is something, if you focus on, chances are that you will succeed. And trust is a two-way traffic, not one-way traffic.
Sir, we don't get such a charismatic personality like you more days, but I would like to ask one more question. Sir, if what do you prefer? We should mix up a personal life and professional life together or not?
personal life and professional life, we need to mix together. Personal life and professional life, we need to mix together.
How should we manage the time for both of them?
You know, there are a lot of new generation, Gen X, all of your Gen X, you say there is something called work-life balance. एक word आजकल होता है, work-life balance, which means मैं तो 7 घंटा काम करूँगा, उसके बाद मैं घर पे आके हमारा work-life balance करूँगा. You know, in a word, it's called bullshit. Complete bullshit. If you have to work 18 hours, work 18 hours. 16 hours, 16 hours. 12 hours, 12 hours. This is the time to work. Whatever you do, do it with quality. For instance, maybe 6 days you're working. I'm giving an extreme example. 6 days you work, you go out at 8 o'clock in the morning, come back 10 o'clock in the night, you are really working hard. But on Sunday, when you are at home, I presume you still don't have a wife, or you at least you may be having a girlfriend, spend quality time with her. Spend time with your parents. Whatever time you spend personally, spend quality time. It is not the quantity of time which matters, but it is quality of time which matters. Believe me, it works wonders. Because this is the time of your life where you will work hard and progress. This is the time you will have to prove others that I can do it. This is the time you have the biggest ability. That God has given you a biology. You are fresh. You are not as old as me. I can't work 18 hours a day, but you people can. Work. Prove yourself. And come to this stage where you only have to work only 18 minutes and not 18 hours.
Thank you, sir.
Quality and not quantity. It works.
Okay, sir.
Thank you all for the questions. So there are around 7 to 8 questions were asked, sir, in this hall. So I request all those 7 to 8 to give the books, the prize, to motivate them in asking the questions in the coming days.
Now others are thinking, why didn't they ask?
So the book. One each. The first question, I think somebody asked from this. First question. Yes, please come. Ho. Yes.
That gentleman asked on blunder mistake, so he wants he should get this book. Blunder.
Okay, good.
I've written a book of mistakes, by the way, so you should get it.
Come.
There is a white book. There is a black book. One is this.
One, take it. One. Pakada. Next, third. The last question, somebody asked it. Yes, please. इथं कोणतरी होतं ना? Yeah, please come.
But you have to read it. There are only two more.
Yeah.
Do we have any more?
No, here are there, sir. We have it.
There is no unemployment. Yes, sir. There is no unemployment. Unemployment. I know you read in the newspaper because there are unemployment of people who does not know how to work. The employable हो जाओ ना, कोई unemployment नहीं है. I'm telling you, we couldn't find a web developer. We couldn't find an editor. He was recruiting an IT engineer, and the IT engineer said, मैं तो computer कभी खुला ही नहीं. वो IT engineer है. Education. If you are good, there is no unemployment in the country. Believe me. ढंग का कोई हो तो आप दिखाओ हमको जो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट और ढंग का है, नहीं मिलेगा आपको. India has lots of opportunity. There is enough jobs for every one of you. Each one of you can become a CXO. I'm telling you. Each one of you can become a CXO. तैयार करो खुद को, have the ability, हो जाएगा.
Anybody else who asked the questions? Okay. And yeah. And 2 questions online होते ना? 2 questions. 2 questions were online. For them we will send it. Anybody else left it? Thank you. So please sit. Please sit. Thank you very much, Robin ji, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your expertise with us. Mr. Robinjee has rightly said there is no dearth of jobs in India. What is required is the fitment for the culture, the skill fitment and attitude and ability. If you have all these, definitely everyone in India will get the good job. Thank you very much, sir. And we express our sincere thanks and gratitude to Mr. Manojji Deshmukh for sparing your time also and attending this 13th CEO Connect. We are very much thankful to our principal, Dr. Keshavji Nandurkar, for providing this great opportunity to interact with the prominent personality, Mr. Robinjee. Thanks to Dr. Shirishji Sane for attending this session. And thanks to all the principals, the directors of the various educational institutes who have attended this session through online. Thanks to heads of the department of KKWIEER. Thanks to all the students, and thanks to Shri Ashok Bhai Merchant, the Honorable Trustee of KKWIEER Education Society, for attending this session. Thanks to all the volunteers, Mr. Keith, for attending it, and all the training and placement coordinators of the KKWIEER, as well as across the various institutes. Thanks, one and all. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.